And we're back. Toy Connections here with another side-by-side figure review and comparison. Here today we're going to talk about the G.I. Joe classified figures that are in front of your screen. Namely, on the left, the 2020 release known as the Cobra Trooper and the 2021 release known as the Cobra Infantry. So for those of you mint in box collectors, the one thing you're going to notice that's going to be the main difference is the back of the box, where the Trooper came with the Cobra Island box art and Cobra Island logo here, whereas the Infantry came with the more standard character collage and montage that's there. Now, for those of you who like to stack your boxes numerically, you should also know that they did come with different release numbers. So the Cobra Trooper came with the number 12 on the side of the box, whereas the Infantry came with the number 24 on the side of the box. Looking at the figures in terms of the cosmetic differences, one thing I'll point out right away is that the mold is exactly identical to one another here. So when you look at them, they did not change any of the body structure or the proportion. So it really just does come down to a difference of color. You'll see that the Cobra Trooper came with a lighter flesh tone, whereas the Cobra Infantry came with a slightly darker flesh tone on the face. And as far as the actual vest is concerned, you'll see as I angle it towards the light here that the Cobra Trooper came with a black vest, whereas the Cobra Infantry came with a blue vest that has some gray highlights in it. And when you look at the sides of the figure, the Cobra Trooper did not come with this extra dark blue detailing that you see here on the upper thighs of the Cobra Infantry. Now, a very subtle difference as well, if you can see it, is that the Cobra Infantry came with a little bit of gray on the knee pads there. Not a very big difference, but that's what you see when you compare the two figures side by side in terms of the color variations. Now, for those of you who did collect G.I. Joe in the 80s, you'll see that they did also do two different releases, one being the Cobra Officer and one being the regular Cobra the Enemy release. Obviously, you'll see the Cobra Officer has the silver logo, whereas the Cobra the Enemy had the red logo on the chest, as well as a difference in the web gear on the chest. So for those of you who like to differentiate the figures due to rank and file, this is where the idea originally comes from. I've heard a few people say that they consider one of these higher ranking than the other, and we'll get into it here in a moment when we look at the accessories and this really cool insignia here. So just looking at the differences in the accessories here, the Cobra Trooper obviously does come with quite a bit more. And I'll just jump into it right away here. As I mentioned a moment ago, this armband here is kind of the neat standout accessory, which indicates some sort of a rank within the Cobra Army, and that just slips over. I put it on the left arm there. You can choose to pose it how you like. And he also comes with this lengthy sniper rifle that does not come with the Cobra Infantry. And he also comes with these really cool, what I can only imagine are night vision goggles that go over his head before you put the helmet on. But otherwise, the rest of the accessories are identical between the two. You can see absolutely no difference in shade or tone between the helmets there in terms of the color. The mid-size rifle is entirely the same between the two figures, and the knives are the same between the two figures, as well as the pistols are the same between the two releases. So I'm just going to come back here and close out with some final thoughts. So what are my final remarks here? Is one figure really better than the other? It's really hard to say, right? I mean, the obvious thing to try to do would be to say that the Cobra Trooper comes with more accessories, therefore people would prefer it. At the same time, when you look at the Cobra Infantry, it's more accessible to the market. At least at the time of the making of this video, it is far easier to find a Cobra Infantry than it is to find a Cobra Trooper. So if you are trying to army build, or if you are on a budget and you don't want to pay the ridiculous prices on the secondary market, definitely go for the Cobra Infantry. Both of them are going to fit into your Cobra army very, very well. So if you just look at them with Snake Eyes there sneaking into the back, you know, if they're trying to fight the G.I. Joe like Snake Eyes or chase him around, they're going to look relatively the same trying to do so, right? So again, there's no right or wrong answer here. I don't try to jump to the conclusion of trying to tell you guys or advise you what to buy. At the end of the day, it just comes down to what can you find out there and what do you prefer. So, you know, now that they're both armed up, just looking at them, and as I mentioned earlier, that armband is kind of a cool piece, but not an absolutely essential piece if you ask me. So make your decision, guys. I mean, do you prefer one over the other? I kind of look at them as almost interchangeable, but that's just me. Some of you guys might have to have both. Some of you guys might just prefer to get one of them. Some of you guys might get, like I mentioned with the officer ranks earlier, one of these and several of these, or maybe you consider them both just generic troopers and you get an equal amount of both. Either way, like I said, no wrong answer out there, and however you choose to collect is up to you. Otherwise, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you again soon with some more toy content.